It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for
A Craig and Ryland Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on
Magic TV.
And it's been a couple of weeks since we filmed these. We batched a whole bunch of them because you've been in America. We went and did a show at Penguin Magic and filmed something we're not allowed to talk about.
Whatever, say it.
Don't say it. Whatever you do, you'll be in trouble with Penguin.
We filmed this thing called...
Shut up. But we had a fantastic time. We're going to do a video about that at some point. But we're back now. We're back. And while we're away, on the flights on the way there and on the flights on the way back, and when we were hanging out in the hotel room, we looked at a whole bunch of magic, didn't we? And this is the review show. Is going to be full of all of that magic. And we're going to start with a new trick by TCC that Ryland actually turned around to me earlier today and said he thinks that this is the front runner at the moment for Trick of the Year. High praise indeed. What is it? Well, we're going to look at that one first. So first up, we have X-Light by Kingsley Xu, I think that is, by Kingsley Xu, which is a new trick by TCC. The second you saw the trailer for this, his eyes just popped out of his head and he was like, oh my God, I want to do that. I want to do that in my show now. To be clear, this is a stage piece. This is not something that you would do in a close-up environment. This is something that's designed for stage.
So cool.
It is very, very cool. If you don't know what this is, the basic idea is that you can make a feather appear, which sounds boring, but it looks incredible. The production of the feather looks like a special effect from Hollywood. It really does. If you were going to be able to make a feather by magic using a magic wand, this is exactly what it would look like. And we're going to talk about it in a second. But first of all, you've been practicing this for a little while, and we can't do everything with this. And I'll explain why in a bit, because there are a few pros and cons, but we'll get into that. But here's a video of Ryland just doing the feather production. So this is just kind of making the wand light up and making the feather appear. Let's have a look at that, a performance of you doing that, and we'll talk about all the pros and cons. Sound good?
Mm-hmm. I absolutely love this.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that moment where that feather appears is amazing. And for a stage piece, everything is self-contained inside here, which is great. So you've got everything contained inside here. When you get to the show...
Except if you want an appearing cone for it.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute. But if you wanted to just make the feather appear, you'd open this up, put it in your case, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about everything. So first of all, it's about a 15 to 18 minute tutorial. There's no live performances, but there are performances to camera.
It really needs to be 18, 15 minutes.
Yeah, you first of all learn about how...
Because it's got all the different routines.
It has got all the different routines. It starts off by teaching you how to make a feather appear, which you said to me was very, very easy. Nothing difficult about that at all. When I say this is a stage piece, it really is. You could not do this close up. Also, there's a couple of lighting considerations. Not really lighting considerations, but you want to kind of do this with a black background. You'd want to be wearing like darker clothes.
With a black behind you.
Yeah, black clothes. You wouldn't want to have it backlit brightly. So this is something really that you couldn't do close up. You could do it in a kid's show as long as you're aware of kind of the lighting and what the material is that you're wearing. But this is really predominantly a stage piece for manipulators like you. You get the feather, so the first thing they teach you to do is to make the feather appear. You also get in here a handkerchief, a white handkerchief, and you can make a white handkerchief appear using the same method. You played around with both, and you preferred the feather, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why?
I just think it looks cooler the way the feather is produced compared to the silk.
Okay.
Because like the feather, like you can see all the bits like dropping down. With the silk, it's just like done and it's there already.
And plus, you can do a million things with silks already.
Yeah.
The feather, especially with the way that the wand looks, it kind of makes you think of Harry Potter, doesn't it?
Yeah. The best way to use the silk is with the feather and the cane.
And the cane, yeah. And we'll talk about that in a
yeah.
second. So you can make the feather appear, you can make the cane appear. Obviously, it's batteries, but it's not like AA batteries. There's a recharging port, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you literally just get a little wire and you can charge it up, and then when it's charged, you're good for a while.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're charging it before every show. Now, if you've seen the trailer, there's also a vanish of the feather.
Yeah.
And you can vanish the feather just with a bolt of light, just make the feather vanish, or you can have it burst into confetti, or you can have it burst into a whole bunch of like little pieces of feather, or you can actually have it vanish and a handkerchief appears in its place.
Yeah.
I think that the production of the feather is really practical, because you can have the wand in your case, you can take the wand out at any point in the show, and you can make the feather appear. I personally don't think that the way that they suggest vanishing it, because it's the same method to turn it into the silk, to make it disappear in a burst of confetti, to make it disappear in a burst of light, it's the same method. I don't think it's as practical for two reasons, and we've not talked about this, so I want to know what you think. The first reason is there are clothing restrictions. Because you're using a device that a lot of magicians are used to, you are going to have long sleeves. So, I mean, you never wear long sleeves in your show, other than when you first walk out and you've got a hoodie on. But you take the hoodie off very, very close to the beginning of the show, and then you tend not to wear it again. So, and even with a hoodie, those sort of sleeves won't work, because hoodie sleeves are kind of like grip your skin. You'd have to have more of a kind of a tuxedo or a suit, or the sort of thing that Harry Piper wears when he's on stage. You'd have to have that. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, when you want to do the vanish, there's a hookup, isn't there? And you can't do the hookup in the middle of an audience because of where the device is that vanishes the feather. You can't like reach around and get it into position in the middle of an act. If you're wanting to do the vanish of the feather, you'd have to make this your opening piece. Because you'd have to walk out hooked up, do the appearance of the feather, and then do the vanish of the feather. And I think that makes it, if you want to use this as an opener, great, but you don't want to use this as an opener. You've got an opener that you're happy with in your stage show.
Also using canes. It uses canes.
Well, no. I mean, you can just make it go into the. So the other thing that they talk about on the project is turning it into a handkerchief, and then turning the handkerchief a white handkerchief, which does look really nice actually. You take the white feather, you turn it into a white handkerchief, and then you take the white handkerchief and you turn that into
that, and it turns into a cane,
which looks beautiful. You need an appearing cane for that. You use the Ultra Cane by Bon Lee. You use a lot of appearing canes in your show. His opening routine is actually an appearing cane.
And a vanishing cane.
And a vanishing cane. You use a lot of canes. And then you do dancing cane, and then you do another appearing cane. Lots of canes. And that looks absolutely amazing. But it's the same problem, because to vanish the feather, you are going to need to be hooked up. And if you're wanting to do this in the middle of the show, like you wanted to do this in the middle of your show, you've got a whole vision as to how to do this.
Wait, actually, you don't need to do it the first thing, actually, I just remembered.
Why?
You can hook it up whenever you want.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
How?
Remember, because it's like a little hair clip that like goes through there and then over. So when you want, all you've got to do is you take so you can, whenever you want, make the feather appear, and then the thing on the feather, you hook up, hold it, and then it's gone.
But you are still going to need to have tension on that gimmick, because
it's up your sleeve, and the things like that, so it's only a little bit sticking out so they can't see it.
Yeah, but okay, let me ask you a question. Would you want to be doing think about all of the routines you do in your show, would you want to be doing that while you've got the tension of that going up your sleeve?
It's fine, because it's just there. It's not affecting anything. It's just like waiting there ready to be hooked up and
okay.
So you can do it whenever you want. I've just remembered that.
Okay,
You can grab the appearing cane and the silk from your case.
Technically, you could, but I still don't think I really think it needs to be done as an opening routine. Now, you do more of this type of magic than me. Well, we'll put it this way. The way that Ryland wants to use this is you've got two of these, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you want to bring out the wand, make the feather appear, put the wand away while you float the feather. Of course, that's the other thing on there. There's actually a technique to float the feather, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which is really nice, where you literally have the feather here and you do this, and it flies up into the air, which looks really nice.
Yeah.
So Ryland wants to make the feather appear, put the wand away, float the feather, and then go and get the same wand and make another feather appear. But your plan is to actually turn them into handkerchiefs in the dove pan, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that you don't have to be hooked up. So you then take the 2 feathers, put them in the dove pan. Fire dove pan. Have the fire with the wand, touch the wand, fire appears, and then when he takes it out, you've now got 2 appearing canes preloaded in the feather. So now you can take both of the handkerchiefs out, show them, and as you spin, they both turn into 2 canes, and that's the end of the routine that you want to do. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do it that way, but it's a little bit harder because the way you do it in the other way is you have the silk, and when you do it, you like slowly pull it, so it looks like you just like.
It looks like you're straightening out the handkerchief.
Yeah, so I don't have a handkerchief.
Well, you could actually do that with the wand, with the dove pan. You could have the handkerchiefs in there with the cane in there. You could take one of the handkerchiefs out, show it, leave the other one in the dove pan, straighten it, turn it into a cane, get the applause. Take the other handkerchief out, straighten it, get the other cane, get another round of applause.
Yeah. So basically, how he does it is he has the handkerchief, and he's got the appearing cone ready, and he does like that. Like straightens it out and does that, and then it's a cane, and you can like spin it round and things.
Yep, absolutely.
That's how he does it.
Bear in mind, if you're wanting to do anything with canes, you are going to need to get an appearing cane as well. We recommend the Ultra Cane. And also, you do see on the trailer smoke, but there's no smoke device here. If you wanted to make smoke appear, you'd also need sort of a smoke device to make that smoke appear. Although I don't think you need the smoke. I think it's cool enough just having the white light. So yeah, I mean that's everything. It's a stage piece. It's designed for stage performers.
He probably has it like up his sleeve or something.
Probably, or he might have a mist watch, which is one of those watches that makes smoke appear. I don't know. But you know, it is what it is. It's a fantastic prop. I mean, you're currently putting a competition act together, aren't you? And you've said you're using this for the first part of the competition act. Harry Potter. Yeah, it's all based around movies that Ryland likes watching.
Luminous?
Huh?
Luminous.
What about Luminous? Oh, Lumos. Yeah, Lumos, yeah.
Your head's glowing.
Thank you. What are you going to give it? I'm going to give...
Your head?
Bearing in mind, if you're a close-up magician, this is not going to be for you. If you're a stage performer and you want a really cool piece in there that looks amazing, this might be the sort of thing that you want. I'm going to give this 100%.
Billion, bajillion, million, bajillion, bajillion Googleplex.
You really like this, don't you? So whatever he said, Ryland thinks this is the trick of the year so far. That's because he performs mainly on stage. You might not agree with him, but it is a very cool, innovative way to actually make a feather appear. Also, they also talk about how you can use a delight to make the light go off the wand and back onto the wand and stuff.
You've got one of the things that go
like a delight thumb tip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the light, and now it's over here. Throw it, gone there.
Which would be a nice way to do it as well. Yeah.
Daddy.
So there you go. That's your first review. X-Light. It's incredible. TCC have really hit it out of the park with this one. We're now going to move on to another trick. Okay, next up we have Slow Vanish by Julio Montoro. And this is basically a revelation of a signed card. It's a very simple tutorial. There's no live performance. It's just Julio to camera talking about exactly what you need to know. It's a very short tutorial. It's because it's a very simple trick. I would have liked to have seen some live performances. I really would. I didn't get to see that on the tutorial. But it's easy enough to see that this will work in the real world. Now, while we're in America, Ryland performed this over breakfast one day, didn't we? Didn't you? For Instagram. And it's very, very cool. We're going to show you the Instagram footage first of all, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons.
Okay, so I've got my dad behind the camera. Dad, say stop.
Stop.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the 6 of hearts. Could you sign that card?
Of course I can. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to put that card in the middle.
Okay.
That.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have to press hard here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line on this card, okay?
Okay, yeah. Go for it.
But make it nice and thick. Okay, there you go. You got the line there? Can you see the line?
I see the line, buddy.
Now
yeah.
watch very carefully. I'm going to give it a little shake. Like that.
What?
And you can see the line's completely gone.
Where'd it go?
Now if I snap, you can actually see that the line appears on a card.
No.
Now what was your
Right,
card?
no. It's the six of hearts.
Yeah? 6 of hearts. What?
Okay, so that was slow Vanish. I mean, it is exactly what you just saw. There's one gimmick. It's not a gimmick card, but it kind of is. It is a gimmick card. There's one gimmick card, which is on top of the deck to begin with, or on the bottom of the deck, or wherever it is that you want it. And that card can be added into the deck whenever you wanted to. So, for example, you could do that old dodge of leaving that card behind as you take the rest of the deck out, do something with the rest of the deck, put the cards away and go, oh, let me show you one more thing, or you could have it in your pocket and palm it onto the deck. It's completely up to you how you get into that position, but that one gimmick card starts off on top of the deck. Once you've got that gimmick card on top of the deck, you also need one other card, which you're going to give away every single time, because you're going to end up with a card with a line on it that the spectator signs that you give away as a souvenir. They're really easy to prepare. You could do 10 cards in like 5 minutes, so you could have those in your pocket. I think this would make a really good opener.
10 cards in 5 minutes?
Yeah, because you're just drawing a line on the card.
Yeah, that's not going to take 5 cards in 10 minutes.
I said 10 cards in 5 minutes. It's going to take like 30 seconds to draw a nice, neat line.
No, you just go like this. Get a ruler and go, vroom, next card, ruler. Vroom,
Okay.
Next card, ruler. Vroom, next
Whatever.
Card, ruler,
It won't.
next card, ruler,
Does
vroom.
it matter? It won't take long to
It's
make.
not going to take 5 minutes. It's
I-
going to take 30 seconds.
I personally think if you do close-up magic, this would make a great opener. So you've got the card in position, you've got everything in position that you need, because at the end, you're kind of completely clean. It's very simple to do. You just need to be able to do a force, and that's pretty much it. The vanish of the line on the card looks amazing, but it's like super easy, isn't it? The gimmick does all the work for you. And it's not a gimmick like a flap. You're not using elastic thread or anything. It's going to last a long time. I can't see this breaking at any point, because it's very low tech in terms of how it works. It's just going to work. So as long as you can do a force of that pre-prepared card, then you're done. Now, Julio doesn't actually do it with a signed card, but you and I both thought if you actually have the card forced face up, you can have the card signed. So I think that signing the card kind of adds to it a little bit. But I mean, think about it from an opening point of view. You have a card pick, they sign it, you lose it in the pack. You take the card, you take a card off the top of the deck and you draw a line on it. They see the card with the line on it and instantly it vanishes. It's completely angle proof. It looks amazing. When that line vanishes, it happens right in front of their eyes. It looks super cool, but then immediately you spread down and you've got that really nice moment where there's a line on a card in the deck and there's no switches at that point. They take that card out and that's their card. They keep that as a souvenir. All you have to do is get rid of that gimmick card and you're left with a regular deck to do whatever you want to do. So you're the one that learns it. How difficult is it?
It's not. The feather's easy.
I'm not talking about the...
not that. Why am I on about that?
I know you like the feather trick.
all
I'm
you've got to
talking
do-
about the
all
card
you've got to do is
trick.
give it a little shake, and then that's the move. Just give it a little shake.
You're so weird.
Yeah, I was talking about the feather.
Are you still jet lagged?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, it looks easy. It's an easy trick to do, but it is super visual. There's no angle problems. What did you feel about the tutorial?
The tutorial is really good.
Did everything it needed to do? Here's the big question. You've gone on record many times as saying card tricks are boring. Would you do this? Because I will. I love this trick.
I don't know if I would do it.
Really? Julio's going to beat you up when he sees you at Blackpool. He's going to go, Ryland, the kid magician.
I don't do any card tricks. That's why.
I know, but you do some.
I do packet tricks.
You like packet tricks? Okay. Well, I think this would make a really
I do some
good...
packet tricks.
I think this would make a great opener. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's visual. It's going to establish yourself. You know, it's not your typical trick where, you know, you're doing like when you're performing to lay people and you go, I'm going to do a card trick as an opener. A lot of times people are going to go, oh, I've seen that one, even if they haven't. But very quickly into this routine, they're going to realise they've not seen anything like this before. When you start drawing lines on cards and then lines vanish right in front of their eyes, it's going to establish credibility. It really is. I could see myself using this and getting a lot of use out of it. And I can see this going down really well in front of a real audience. It's why I'm going to give this 95%. I think this is
79.
79. You're not going to do it?
No.
Okay. So 79% from Ryland, 95% from me. It is very good, though. It's one of those tricks where you can buy it, you'll watch the tutorial, and you'll be doing it immediately. And even though Ryland said he's not going to do it, which is fine, you have done it on social media.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because it's great for social media.
Yeah.
Because you've got that visual vanish of the line. It looks really good. But it's also one of those social media tricks that will work really well in a live audience because there's no angles, there's no table required. You can get into it very easily. You can get out of it very easily. You're left with a regular deck. There's a lot to like about this. And I think it's flown under a lot of people's radar. A lot of people haven't really kind of picked this up. But it's very good. So it's The Slow Vanish by Julio Montoro. 95% from me, 79% from the Kid Magician. We're going to move on now with another trick. Yeah. So next up, we have another trick that Ryland performed on social media while you were on your travels. And this is the Vanishing Statue of Liberty by Roy Kueppers. And I know you love this. The Vanishing Statue of Liberty, it reminds me a little bit of that trick that I do with the Houdini coin. You know that trick that I do with the Houdini coin?
I do that one.
You do that, yeah. You've got that as well,
Yeah,
where you've got
like the little pursy thing.
It's called a quiver. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got the Houdini coin.
And the Houdini.
And his knees like handcuff thingies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he escapes and his head's in the quiver.
And you do that. You like that, yeah. Well, this reminds me a little bit of that, other than that it's a completely different method. You're not needing a quiver or anything like that.
All you do is this.
Yeah, it's literally that. If you've not seen it,
or you can do this. You can do it like that, or like, ooh.
Yeah. But we'll talk about exactly what you get with it in a minute. We'll talk about the pros and cons. But first of all, let's have a look at a performance. This is Ryland's Instagram performance of the Vanishing Statue of Liberty. And when you've looked at it, we'll talk about what we think.
Okay, so I'm in New York and I've got my dad behind the camera. My dad, I've got a New York State Quarter here. Now, you know how David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that as well. So hold your hand up for me.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to put that right there. I want you to watch very, very carefully.
Hang on, let me look at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. I'm going to make that Statue of Liberty disappear. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. And you can actually see that Statue of Liberty has now gone. What?
So Roy gave a great quote. Sorry, not Roy. Roy was given a great quote by David Copperfield for this. He was like, David Copperfield said, "Oh, I'll have 2 of them. This would have been so much easier than when I actually made the Statue of Liberty vanish," which is pretty cool. What you get in the package, you get a regular coin. So you get a state quarter from New York, which has got a Statue of Liberty on it. I suppose you could borrow the coin if you could be sure to actually get one that matches. But you know, especially over here in the UK, I think it's easier to just bring it out and bring up the concept of the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. But you get a regular coin, then you get a gimmicked coin, and the coin is gimmicked in a couple of different ways. First of all, it's cut out. The Statue of Liberty is cut out. But as well as that, there's another gimmick that goes with that coin that makes it look a very common sort of thing that you would find at the seaside, without giving too much away.
You just gave that completely away.
Only to magicians.
A coin gimmick that you find by the seaside.
Yeah. Shut up, Ryland. And that coin gimmick goes on the.
You feel like they're going to think it's a sandcastle, is it?
Shut up. The coin gimmick goes on top of the regular coin, and the reason for that is you can show the regular coin, and then you can do a switch for the actual gimmick coin. It doesn't look like anything's happened. That can go onto the spectator's hands, and then you can do the vanish. And like Ryland said, you get another gimmick that you palm that's a little bit like a low-tech version of the Silent Assassin by Sans Mines. And what this gimmick will allow you to do is, with no palming, you can just wave your hand over and the statue will vanish on the spectator's hands. Now, you don't necessarily have to use that gimmick. Anything like that will work, like the Silent Assassin will work. The Raven will work really, really well for this. So if you've got a Raven, you can do the Raven, and that would work brilliantly.
Where was the thing where you said you can use like different things to do that? Like you could use a different thing, you could pinch it.
Yeah.
Was that this?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yes.
The tutorial is actually.
So you can you can have different things. Like you can pinch it like a little magnet, and you can do it like that. Or you can like stick it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
The tutorial is done partly by Roy Kueppers, but partly by who I consider to be one of the best magicians in the world, which is Magic Ballet.
I thought you would say you.
Well, everybody knows I'm the best. Magic Ballet is Magic Ballet is awesome. I love Magic Ballet to bits, and he goes through his handling of the routine. He goes through lots of different options, which is wonderful. And that moment where that vanishes and you just show that it's gone, and there's now a cutout and it's left on the spectator's hand, that is great. Now in the video you just saw Ryland's performance, you didn't bring the statue back, and that was your decision. You wanted to actually have on the social media video the statue going and not coming back, so you could have that moment at the end.
It's a shame we didn't have time to go to the actual Statue of Liberty.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, do it to Statue of Liberty.
Unfortunately it was from the airport.
Yeah.
You should have done it with your New York jumper on, but whatever.
Oh, Daddy, why didn't you say that over there? Daddy.
Sorry, bro. However, Magic Ballet and Roy Kueppers go through various different ways of bringing the statue back at the end, including the most practical version, which is just a spellbound. So, when they end up with this coin with the statue cut out on their hand, there's all misdirection in the world to just grab the regular coin and go straight into this and have the statue come back, and you can give it out for examination again. So it's very, very easy. It's a lot easier than most coin routines because the gimmicks do most of the work for you. You are still going to need to do a switch depending on the handling that you use, but this is practical. This is a practical trick. This is a trick that will, again, even though you saw Ryland do it on social media and it's perfect for social media, it works in the real world and it looks really, really good. Look, here's the thing. I'm going to give it 79%. I'm not going to do it. I don't want people to think that I don't like this. I love this, but it's too similar to El Duco's Houdini's coin, which I've talked about on this channel as a hidden gem.
Stick with the Houdini coin as well.
You and I both use the Houdini coin. I love the moment with the Houdini coin where the handcuffs are wrapped around and the head's gone, because it's more of a surprise. They don't realise that you say that Houdini's going to disappear and they think that they're just going to have like the handcuffs. They think that maybe the picture of Houdini is not going to be on the coin, and when they look and now the coin is gone, it's complete. It's just amazing, and the handcuffs are just there. I actually prefer El Duco's Houdini's coin, and I'm not going to perform this and Houdini's coin. I'm only going to perform one, so I'm going to stick to Houdini's coin.
Yeah, same. Something tells me someone's going to create. Like, maybe there's a coin out there that has a picture of a moon on. Something tells me that's going to happen.
Maybe that's how David Copperfield's doing it. Maybe he got inspired by this and he's just going to go, haha, I'm going to make a moon disappear. Magic. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. But as for this, look, even though we're only giving it 79% and we say we're not going to do it, doesn't mean it's not a great trick. You can't get El Duco's Houdini's coin anymore. It's impossible to get hold of. El Duco's passed away, unfortunately. You've got one. I've got one. You can't get them anymore. You can find them on second-hand sites occasionally, but they're very few and far between.
Very, very, very rare.
So if you want something like that, there's this. And some people might prefer this because you have got the moments on the hand. It is more visual rather than cerebral, but, I have to be honest. I'm going to do Houdini's coin. 79% for me, 79% from Ryland. It's a great trick. You've seen the performance. If you like what you saw, there's no hidden surprises. We've got one last trick to look at, and we're going to look at that right now. This is letters from our friends at Magic Dream. It's Jérôme Sauloup and Magic Dream. And what we have here is we have a trick all based around Scrabble.
Daddy, I can make Rye. Look. Rye.
Yes, you can.
Rye.
Put them away. You're annoying. I'm going to have a look at... I'm not going to say anything about this. A lot of people have asked us to review this. It came out a couple of years ago at Blackpool, but it's just hit Murphy's. I'd never seen it before. It kind of flew under my radar. Now we've seen it.
Have you not got? Is your radar broken?
It is broken, but luckily it's still got onto my radar eventually, and we're going to have a look at a performance.
Radar's been fixed.
Thank God. Here's a performance of Ryland doing letters. Let's have a look at this performance, and then we'll talk about what we think.
Okay, so I've got my dad behind the camera, I've got a prediction, I've got a little Scrabble stand, and I've got a bag of different Scrabbles. Okay, so Dad, what I want you to do is we're going to try and make a word, and you're going to pick seven Scrabbles, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to try and make a word. And then don't look at them, just pick up a Scrabble and pass it to me. And
Anyone?
Yeah, anyone. Don't look.
Not looking. There we go, that one.
Yeah. Nice. We'll put that there.
Okay.
Okay. Do it again.
That one.
Yeah, number 2. Nice.
Okay. Let's go this one.
Nice.
How many do you want all together?
7. So you've done 3. So you need 4 more.
Okay, I'll go for that one.
Nice.
Another one?
Yep. There's 3 more.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, so we need 2 more.
That one?
Yep. Nice. And then one last one. Let's do one more. And nice. So we've got all these different ones. Now, do you want to have a look at these?
I would love to have a look at those,
You'd love to have a look.
Yeah.
So those are the things we've got.
Okay.
So this is what we've got. So we've got a bunch of different letters. Now, what you're going to try to do is you're going to try and make the longest word you possibly can out of these 7 letters.
Mate, I'm not very good at Scrabble. Okay, let me think.
The longest word you can.
I see arc, that's 3. Gark, park, 4. Haha. Hang on, yeah, put a P there.
A P there, yep.
Park. Put the G at the end.
Parking.
Parking.
So you found the word parking. Now that's pretty cool. Now if we actually look at this, I said we had a prediction here since the very beginning. Now on this prediction, there is one word. And that word says parking. And you could have chose any one of those letters.
What? So that's letters. And look, it's a 1-hour tutorial. The first half an hour tells you how to set this thing up. It took me, because I did it while you were eating breakfast, it took me about half an hour, 40 minutes to set this up. It's a one-time setup.
That's sad.
I know. Once it's set
I
up,
was eating breakfast, yay.
once it's set up for good. You never have to do it again. You got this box that you can keep it in, so it keeps everything nice and neat. You get the stand, which is gimmicked, and you get the letters, which are not gimmicked. And what you saw is the basic routine, which is predicting the word that the spectators are going to think of.
Yeah.
They take out the letters themselves, and then as soon as they took out the letters, you've predicted right from the very beginning. And the main routine, what they do is they don't even show there's a prediction. They take a balled up piece of paper, throw it out in the audience, somebody catches the paper and comes up on stage. They play this game of Scrabble with the magician, and at the end, when they've come up with the word, they open up the piece of paper and the word matches that they've been holding on to the whole time, which is really cool. And what's nice about this, and the reason it takes about half an hour to set up, is you don't have to use the word that you saw Ryland use there, parking. You don't have to use parking. You can use any word you want to. Once you've actually understand how the system works, you can change the word round very, very easily to whichever word that you want to use. The other thing is, the second half of the project, Jérôme and Johan, who owns Magic Dream, co-owns Magic Dream, goes through lots of other ways of actually doing this. So he's got a really nice idea of forcing the word Mickey, and there's 7 letters, but there's a W that ends up not being used, and there's a mug on display the entire time, and you say there's a prediction underneath the mug, and then there's a little mouse or a little plastic figurine of Mickey Mouse, and you've said the word Mickey and you predicted mouse, and then obviously they didn't use the W, and when you turn the mug round, there's a W printed on the mug. I thought that was quite good. Yeah. There's another routine where they make a word, which is kind of like they make a word, And then you say, well, I predicted that from the beginning. Open up the piece of paper. When they open up the piece of paper, it says on there, my granddad's dog. And you say, yeah, I knew that, so the whole thing is when they've come up with the word, let's say the word's parking, you go, I can't believe that you thought of the word parking. I knew that you'd think of the word parking. That's actually the name of my granddad's dog. I can't believe it. I'll prove it to you. Look. And when they open up the piece of paper, it says my granddad's dog on there. And obviously they're not very impressed. And then there's been this whiteboard on display the whole time with all of the letters. And when you take the whiteboard and turn it around, there's a picture of a dog. And then it's got the name of the dog on there, and that name would be parking in this example. They've even got a way of actually using this as a watch steal, because they say that when you give the spectator this bag and you tell them to mix it, it's the perfect opportunity to do a watch steal. So you can give them the bag and shake it, and you can say, shake the bag, use your other hand, do me a favour, shake the bag, give it a good shake up, make sure they're all mixed up, and you steal the watch at that point. You then go into your case to take a mug, and you put the watch in the mug, and you put that down as the prediction. And the word that they end up with is watch or watches. And then when you turn the mug round, it says watches on there, and you say there's something inside the mug, and when you take it out, it's their watch. Which is quite a nice idea, nice way of doing a watch steal. So there's lots of lots of different ways of doing this. Be aware that this is not a close-up trick. Even though you could technically keep this in your pocket, I personally, if you think about this, right, if you think about this, I don't think this is something that you could do close-up. You know, I think that this would be a difficult thing to do close-up. A, you need a table. But B, when you're in this situation, you're putting the tiles on.
Yeah, you can see.
You can kind of see. Well, you can see from the sides.
Yeah.
You need the audience in front of you. And then secondly, and I don't want to give anything away, so I'm going to do it like this. When you do it like this, and they're looking at the thing.
They're probably going to see all that.
Yeah, so I think
if you put that like that now, how would it be?
that would be
like
there,
yeah.
yeah.
And you put a word on there, you can see that.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're like looking at that.
Yeah, so this is a stage piece. This is not a close-up piece. A stage or a parlour piece. You need the audience in front of you. They don't necessarily need to be far away. They could be close, but you do need the audience in front of you.
Yeah.
This would be a great trick as well for older kids. A lot of the time when you're performing for like that tricky age, that 10, 11-year-old age range, you know, because everybody knows that kids that are 10 turning 11, they're obnoxious, horrible little brats.
Because it's my birthday in 9 days.
They're obnoxious, they're horrible. When they're 10, 11, they think they know everything. They don't listen, they're rude, it's the worst age to perform for. 10-year-old going on to 11, they're brats, just plain and simple. It's plain and simple. That's all you need to know. They're brats. If you're 10 going on 11, you're a brat. It's much better to be like 8 years old.
I'm 10 turning 11 in 9 days.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You're a brat. But no, seriously, you know as well as me, performing for older kids is a little bit more difficult, because unless you do the right type of magic, 10 and 11-year-olds love 10, 11, 12-year-olds, they love magic, but it has to be kind of cooler magic, doesn't it? You can't be going out with hankies and going, oh look, I'm going to make this one change colour. You have to kind of do more cool magic, right? And 10, 11-year-olds, like the feather, like a lot of the stuff in your act, like multiplying balls and stuff. And I think that comes from the fact that you are 10 and 11, so you like doing cooler magic tricks. But then again, you do also do colouring routines and make crayons invisible, just saying. But 10 and 11-year-olds, they know what Scrabble is, they play Scrabble.
I don't.
You don't play Scrabble, but you know what Scrabble is.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this would work for that tricky age range, but it's really a parlour show, stage show type routine. I'm not going to do this, I have to be honest. It's not going to be something that goes into my act. I do think it's very good, but it's not something that I'm going to do. I had the conversation with you earlier and you said that you would probably put this in your show. And I could see you doing this because you do tricks with games and puzzles and Rubik's Cubes and stuff like that. You know, so I could see you doing this.
What games do I do?
You know, it's not that you do games. It's just that, like, well, you do that crossword puzzle that we looked at from Penguin, and even, you know, drawings with numbers on the back and stuff, and you know, you know, the scam trick that you do.
Oh yeah.
So I could see this working for you, but I don't know. We haven't spoken too much about it. I'm going to give it 79%.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I think that the method is great. I think that it's very direct mentalism. It feels incredible because they're taking any letter out that they want. They're creating the word themselves, and they're coming up with the word that you've predicted. It's very good. It's just not something that will go into my show.
I'm going to give it 95.
95% from Ryland, 79% from me. It's really good. You get this then. It's going in your show. You can take it to the warehouse. Let's wrap this up.
There's another review show in the bag. Another review show in the bag. There's another review show in the bag.
I knew that was going to come. I knew he was going to hit
Another
me.
review show in the bag. Another review show in the bag.
Okay. It is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining us right here on... It's Magic TV. Oh, you've forgotten the name.
Magic TV.
Magic TV. Don't forget, if you want to follow Ryland on social media, you can do that on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. He is Ryland the Kid Magician. If you want to follow me on any of those platforms, it's Craig Petty Magic TV. We'll be back again next Wednesday with another review show. Don't forget, you can join the Netrix by going to
www.thenetrix.cookie.
At this point, I don't care. I'll see you again next week. Thank you once again for watching. I'm Craig. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I missed.
You're so irritating. You're so annoying. Don't.
What?
Don't.
I missed.
What are you doing?
Oh.
You're a vandal. Stop. You do realise that's an expensive